Hello, DJ92 here with Kyle's Secret Sauce.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. So, welcome to another commentary. Tonight we're going to cover Star Trek, the motion picture released in 1979. This is actually the first Star Trek movie to commentate on. So, this is also Kyle's first time seeing this movie.
This is my first time seeing this movie.
But we'll try our best to bring up to give trivia facts as much as possible, and also if you hear some background noise, that's probably Sissy with us. So
Yep, little Doge.
yeah, so just bear with us. But without further ado, I'll hope you guys are ready, and we'll make sure you have the original version of the film. Make not the director's edition or anything. Just make sure you either have whatever version they have that has the original theatrical cuts. Okay. So without further ado, in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, it's playing right now. Oh, by the way, okay, I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit so it can help us. Right now, what you're hearing is the intro music, the overture music. Like basically, it basically helps the audience members like get situated in the theater back in 1979.
Oh wow!
I mean that's how movies work back in the day.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, I know you have not seen like any of the Star Trek stuff, but you said your dad was a huge fan.
Oh yeah, he loves Star Trek. All those movies and the show. He's got a lot of stuff from the stuff, like what's the word, collectible stuff, like models, cards, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and does he have the Blu-rays and DVDs?
Oh yeah, he's got all the DVDs and such for it. It's like in his own little personal cabinet in his room.
Yeah, like does he have the newer like from 2009 onward, or?
I think he has all of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was heavily invested into it all.
Yeah. So my history with Star Trek, it's kind of mine's a little bit different. So back in the 90s, probably, I did not know what Star Trek was, but I was like fascinated with the Enterprise starship, in like this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I was fascinated with the openings, and at least for the next generation. And now we're about to see the Paramount logo, the old Paramount logo, which is this one right here.
Alrighty.
And the volume's back down, so
that's good.
We're about to see the opening titles with the actual fanfare. Paramount Pictures presents. Yeah, so originally, like I said, it's the music, the intro music that they heard. It was called Isla's theme, it was actually a character, a name of a character. We'll actually see her like in later scenes when we get there, but in the director's edition they added the starfield, like those moving stars in the background before the movie starts, and they also what? Oh, that's just Sissy.
Oh, okay.
That's just Sissy, but
gotcha.
But anyway, when the director's edition DVD came out for this movie, they actually updated the opening titles, like they're all CG and stuff.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like in the director's edition, everything. That's the microphone. They basically updated the graphics and sound effects, and I'm pretty sure the music as well. But
all got a little revamp.
I have not like seen like the only thing I remember seeing like most recently is that they changed the sound effects for the wormhole scene, which we'll get to later.
No.
But the one we're watching right now, this is the theatrical cut.
Okay.
So this movie was directed by Robert Wise. He is best known for directing The Sound of Music, starring Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer. The Von Trapp family.
Mm-hmm. I do know the Von Trapp family.
And this is really cool 1970s special effects. They use like models. That's the Klingon ships, by the way.
Okay.
And the Klingons, I believe they were mentioned they were mentioned in the 60s in the original TV show. So now it's been a while since I've watched these episodes. I remember I actually got this Blu-ray set back in 2020. This is the 60th anniversary set. The 60th anniversary set came out in 2016.
Okay.
And so so anyway, let me see here. I'm gonna read some notes. So it's a 1979 American science fiction film directed by Robert Wise. It is based on and stars the cast of the 1966 to 69 television series Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry, he's the original creator of the series. He's actually in this movie. I believe he's producer, executive producer, and those are the Klingon guys, right there.
Are they bad guys, Sebastian?
I believe so. Yeah.
They don't look. They kind of look a little nasty.
Yeah. So it's created by Gene Roddenberry, the TV show, who served as producer in this film. Set in the 2270s, a mysterious and powerful alien cloud known as V'ger approaches Earth, destroying everything in its path. Admiral James T. Kirk, played by William Shatner, assumes command of the recently refitted Starship Enterprise to lead her on a mission to determine V'ger's origins and save the planet. When Star Trek was canceled in 1969, Roddenberry lobbied Paramount Pictures to continue to franchise through a feature film. The success of a series in syndication convinced the studio to begin work on the film in 1975. A series of writers and scripts did not satisfy Paramount, and they scrapped the film project. Instead, Paramount planned on returning the franchise to its roots with a new television series titled Star Trek Phase 2. The box office success of Star Wars, which was released in 1977, 2 years before the first Star Trek movie, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind convinced Paramount to change course, canceling production of Phase 2 and resuming work on a film. So in March 1978, Paramount announced Wise could direct a $15 million film adaptation of the original television series. Filming began that August and concluded the following January. With the cancellation of Phase 2, writers rushed to adapt its planned pilot episode, In Thy Image, into a film script. Constant revisions to the story and the shooting script continued to the extent of hourly script updates on shooting dates. The Enterprise was modified inside and out, which we will see later on. Costume designer Robert Fletcher provided new uniforms, and production designer Harold Mitchelson fabricated new sets. Jerry Goldsmith composed the film score, beginning in association with Star Trek that would continue until 2002. When the original contractors for the optical effects proved unable to complete their tasks in time, effects supervisor Douglas Trumbull was asked to meet the film's December 1979 release date. Wise took the just completed film to its Washington, D.C. opening, but always felt that the final theatrical version was a rough cut of the film he wanted to make. Now, like I said, there is a director's edition version of this movie, which I've not seen. It was released in 2001. So, but this one right here, what we're looking at, this is the original theatrical cut.
Okay.
And I believe that's, well, I don't mean to spoil here, but that's the Klingons are getting zapped by this V'ger. I believe that's V'ger. And we'll talk more about that when we get there. So, what's interestingly, this takes place in the future.
Okay, I kind of thought that much with all the flying ships and such.
Yeah.
I thought they got a blaster.
Yeah, and so this takes place in the 23rd century, which is hundreds of years from now. So
23rd century.
23rd
Okay,
century.
okay.
23rd century, yeah. So
what just happened?
So so that's V'ger. I don't mean to. They're getting zapped by an enemy.
Were those the bad guys who just got zapped?
The bad guys got zapped, or I think they're like minor bad guys. I mean, because the Klingons, I think they're pretty much like uh, in the TV series, I think they were kind of bad.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen the episodes, but right now we're the character you see right now. That's Spock. He's the guy who does the Vulcan
Hand
sign
signal, yeah.
hand signal,
Alright.
which you'll see in just a moment. And he's played by Leonard Nimoy.
Okay.
He's also best known for playing Master Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts Burst by Sleep, which is one of those video games in the franchise,
Okay.
with all the Disney characters and stuff. And so I think there's some notes about him. Let me see. So he is the Enterprise's half Vulcan, half human science officer. Nimoy had been dissatisfied with unpaid royalties from Star Trek and did not intend to reprise the role, so Spock was left out of the screenplay. I think that's initially. Director Robert Wise, having been informed by his daughter and son-in-law that the film would not be Star Trek without Nimoy, sent Jeffrey Katzenberg to New York City to meet Nimoy. Now, Jeffrey Katzenberg, he's the guy who used to work for Disney for 10 years, from
Okay.
84 to 94, before he eventually founded DreamWorks, which he also stepped down in 2016, and he's doing other things now.
Okay.
Describing Star Trek without Nimoy as buying a car without wheels, Katzenberg gave Nimoy a check to make up for his lost royalties, later recalling himself, quote, on my knees begging the actor during their meeting at a restaurant to join the film. Nimoy attended the March 1978 press conference with the rest of the returning cast. Nimoy was dissatisfied with the script, and his meeting with Katzenberg led to an agreement that the final script would need Nimoy's approval. Financial issues notwithstanding, Nimoy said he was comfortable with being identified as Spock because it had a positive impact on his fame. Now, Nimoy, he was also in Atlantis: The Lost Empire. He played the Atlantean King in that movie back in 2001. It's one of those early 2000s Disney movies. And what you're saying, they're actually speaking Vulcan. They're speaking Vulcan language, but the subtitles are in English. They're basically translating the Vulcan language. In reality, they are actually speaking in English, but then I think they actually like overdubbed that scene.
Okay.
Oh, that's San Francisco, United Federation of Planets, Starfleet headquarters. And this is cool effects for the 1970s.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't think they're using like computer animation. They're actually using like miniature models.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and yeah, the previous shot that was like a model, and right here that's a real like model, and that is William Shatner. He plays
The captain.
James T. Kirk. He's actually former in this movie. He's actually the former captain. The former captain of the USS Enterprise, and an admiral at Starfleet headquarters. When asked during a March 1978 press conference about what it would be like to reprise the role, Shatner said, quote, an actor brings to the role not only the concept of a character, but his own basic personality, things that he is, and both Leonard Nimoy and myself have changed over the years to a degree at any rate, and we will bring that degree of change inadvertently to the role we create. I actually like the designs of with the human characters. They have these they have the fancy hairstyles and eyebrows just for the series and the movie.
Okay.
So we'll meet some other characters momentarily. So let me get to the plot. I'm trying to follow along as well. So in the 23rd century, a Starfleet monitoring station Epsilon 9 detects an alien entity hidden in a massive energy cloud, which we saw earlier, moving through space toward Earth. The cloud easily destroys 3 Klingon warships and Epsilon 9 on its course. At Earth, the Starship Enterprise is undergoing a major refit, which we will see like in a moment here. Its former commanding officer, James T. Kirk, has been promoted to Admiral. Starfleet Command assigns Enterprise to intercept the cloud entity, as the ship is the only one within range, requiring its new systems to be tested in transit. And what we're about to see is we're about to see the Enterprise itself.
Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, in the TV show, in the original TV show, what you're about to see, it's the model looks really big than it is in the original TV show.
Gotcha.
Like on TV, I mean, if you reuse the TV show model for this movie, it looks way too small because it was meant for TV at the time. I think if I heard correctly, that is.
Interesting.
But with the Enterprise, the refitted model in this movie, it looks so big. It's so enormous. Oh, that guy right there, that is, let me look. His name is James Doohan. I can't pronounce it. But he is he plays Montgomery Scott. He is the Enterprise chief engineer. Doohan created the distinctive Klingon vocabulary heard in the film. Linguist Mark Ockran later developed a fully realized Klingon language based on the actors' made-up words. Yeah, like I said with the Vulcan language, there's Vulcan language and there's Klingon language. It's like an Avatar where they have to make up their own language.
Language, yep.
And that's the Enterprise right there. That's the refitted. That's the refitted version of it.
Nice.
And this is actually a long scene. I think it's just to show the audience, just to get a glance of, just get the hype of it, I suppose.
Yep.
And Jerry Goldsmith, he did a great job composing this track, the theme song for this movie. It's all sleek and you can see if you look carefully on in one of the shots you can see those little Star Trek badges, the little logo.
Interesting.
Great use with the models. I think Star Wars also used back in the 70s and the 80s they used like different models of their ships. So, early development. The original Star Trek television series ran for 3 seasons from 1966 to 69 on NBC. The show was canceled due to low Nielsen ratings after the 3rd season. After the show's cancellation, owner Paramount Pictures sold the syndication rights. The series went into reruns in late 1969, and by the late 70s had been sold in over 150 domestic and 60 international markets. The show developed a cult following, and talks of reviving the franchise began. The series creator Gene Roddenberry first proposed a Star Trek feature in the 1968 World Science Fiction Convention. The movie was to have been set before the television series showing how the Enterprise crew had met. The popularity of syndicated Star Trek prompted Paramount and Roddenberry to begin developing the film in May 1975. By June 30th of that year, he had produced what he considered an acceptable script, but studio executives disagreed. This first draft, The God Thing, featured a grounded Admiral Kirk assembling the old crew on the refitted Enterprise to clash with a godlike entity miles across with hurdles toward Earth. It turns out to be a super advanced computer created by a scheming race who are cast out of their who are cast out of their dimension. Kirk wins out. The entity returns to its dimension, and the Enterprise crew resumes their voyages.
Nice.
Yeah, we're still. For those who are trying to follow, we are still like floating around, analyzing the starship. That thing is so huge.
It is pretty big, Sebastian.
Imagine walking around through that thing like in space.
I know, it'd be interesting.
Here you go. We're finally about to enter the ship.
Number 5.
Yep. Everything. I love how futuristic the interiors are. So I believe we're about to meet some other characters in just a
Part of the crew, right?
Yeah, we're about to meet the rest of the crew in just a moment.
Nice.
And this is the main room.
Okay.
I think this room is like on top of this room right here, just for reference. Go.
Where?
This is the main.
That's what
part.
I figured it was right there, Sebastian. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I figured.
That's Nichelle Nichols right there.
I know that. I know who that is. I seen some clips of her. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. I think in real life she has met Martin Luther King
Really?
back in the 60s, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, MLK Jr. And that's right there. That's George Takei playing as Sulu. Nichelle Nichols plays as Uhura. Uhura. I can't pronounce that. Uhura. They're getting ready for launch.
Oh boy, fun.
But the most exciting part of this movie, we will see it like later on. I might have to turn it up a little bit so you guys can hear those cool sound effects and during one of those intense scenes. Those two guys back there, they kind of look like the Star Troopers from Star Wars.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and that is when we get to it. Hold on, that guy right there. That's Decker. That's his actual full name. Yeah, Willard Decker. That's his full name.
Okay.
He's played by Stephen Collins. He is the new captain of the Enterprise. He is temporarily demoted to commander and first officer when Kirk takes command of the Enterprise. He was the only actor that Robert Wise cast. Collins recalled that although every young actor in Hollywood auditioned, he benefited by being completely unfamiliar with the franchise, more interested in meeting the legendary director than in the role. Others advised him, after being cast, that Star Trek is going to be in your life, your whole life. Kelly's dressing room was next to Collins's, and the older actor became his mentor for the production. Collins described filming as akin to playing with somebody else's bat, ball, and glove because he was not a part of the franchise history. He used the feeling of being an quote invader to portray Decker, who is another quote an outsider who they had to have along. So there's some competition going on.
Yeah. To see who's in charge, right?
Yeah, it seems that Captain Kirk, or former Captain Kirk, or Admiral, that I should say, he wants to control the Enterprise. He doesn't like the competition, and what's happening here is that there's a malfunction with the transporter. This is the transporter, which was also seen in the original 1960s 1960s show. You know, sometimes with new technology, they're not always perfect when they test things out.
No, they're not.
And that is the most terrifying scene. Like those two actually, I don't mean to spoil that, but they actually died during this transportation malfunction.
These two?
Yeah, these two right here. That's a horrible scream. They didn't make it. So I'm gonna try to look for more notes as we go along. I think we're about to. There's also another character we're about to see, but just looking on real quick. So the film was the first major Hollywood adaptation of a television series that had been off the air for nearly a decade to retain its original principal cast. The actors grew anxious about the constant delays and pragmatically accepted other acting offers, while Roddenberry worked with Paramount. The studio decided to turn the project over to the television division, reasoning that since the roots of the franchise lay in television, the writers would be able to develop the right script. But the new ideas they developed were also rejected. And what we're seeing right here, they're reviewing that cloud. Remember that scene earlier?
Yep.
So they're looking to basically they're seeing like footage from other good ships that were attacked by that cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. In June 1976, Paramount assigned Jerry Eisenberg, a young and active producer, to be executive producer of the project, with the budget expanded to $8 million. Pavel was Pavel. Oh yeah, John Pavel. John Pavel was tasked with finding more writers to develop a script. His list included Edward Anhalt, James Goldman, Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, Ernest Lehman, and Robert Bloch, Bloch. Pavel was his last recommendation. Pavel almost credited Star Trek II story with Roddenberry. Will be a big show someday. These are quotes. Should be hired now while he is cheap and humble. None of the listed 34 names was chosen. Finally, British screenwriters Chris Bryant and Alan Scott, who had penned the Donald Sutherland thriller Don't Look Now, were hired to write the script. Bryant believed he earned the screenwriting assignment because his view of Kirk resembled what Roddenberry modeled him on. One of Horatio Nelson's captains in the South Pacific, 6 months away from the home and 3 months away by communication. The guy back there on the right, that's Chekhov.
Okay.
He's played by.
Can you turn down the fan a little bit, buddy?
Okay. So he's played by Walter Koenig.
Okay.
And the character himself, I believe, yeah, he has Russian roots.
Russian roots.
Oh,
nice.
or excuse me, or maybe he's Russian himself.
Oh, he might be Russian himself, buddy. Okay.
So, well, I mean, in real life, he is actually American.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Walter Koenig, he's still alive to this day. He's an American actor and screenwriter. He played Pavel Chekhov in the original 1960s series from 1967 to 69. I don't think he appeared in the first series. The first season. I think he came like season the second season onward. And that is Isla. That's a new character. She's a new character. Aliyah, played by Persis Kambata. She is a Deltan navigator of the Enterprise. Kambata was originally cast in the role when the motion picture was a television pilot. She took the role despite Roddenberry warning her that she would have to shave her head completely for filming, which we saw earlier.
You just did, yeah.
And Persis, if I pronounce it correctly, she's an Indian actress.
Oh.
But unfortunately, she passed away in 1998. She was
the bald one.
The bald one. She was that's her, like, back in.
What happened to her?
I'm not sure. Let me see. She
Very young.
She was a chain smoker.
Oh.
In 1998, she was taken to the Marine Hospital in South Mumbai, complaining of chest pains.
Oh, heart attack.
And she died of a massive heart attack on the 18th of August, 1998, at the age of 49.
Mm.
That's just sad.
Very.
But the character that we're seeing, that guy right there, that's DeForest Kelly. He played Dr. Leonard McCoy. He is the chief medical officer aboard the Enterprise. Kelly had reservations about the script, feeling that the characters and relationships from the series were not in place. Along with Shatner and Nimoy, Kelly lobbied for greater characterization, but their opinions were largely ignored. He unfortunately he passed away on June 11th, 1999. He was 79 years old. He was born January 20th, 1920. And we're about to see the ship about to launch, about to go on its cruise.
Is that Spock right there?
Oh, where? Oh,
Right there?
No. That's Sulu.
Oh, that's Sulu. Where's Spock?
We'll see him. We'll see him momentarily. He arrives later. He arrives to the ship later.
Okay.
There it goes.
Yeah, so here it goes, yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So real quickly about the design notes, the first new sets intended for Phase 2 were constructed beginning July 25th, 1977. The fabrication was supervised by Joseph Jennings, an art director involved in the original television series, special effects expert Jim Rugg, and former Trek designer Matt Jeffries, on loan as consultant from Little House on the Prairie. When the television series was canceled and plans for a film put into place, new sets were needed for the large 70mm film format. And I love that background there. The sunrise back there. Wise asked Harold Mitchelson to be the film's production designer, and Mitchelson was put to work on finishing the incomplete Phase 2 sets. He began with the bridge, which had nearly been completed. Middleton first removed Chekhov's new weapons station, a semicircular plastic bubble grafted onto one side of the bridge wall. The idea for Phase 2 was that Chekhov would have looked out toward space while crosshairs in the bubble tracked targets. Wise instead wanted Chekhov's station to face the Enterprise main viewer, a difficult request as the set was primarily circular. Production illustrator Michael Miner created a new look for the station using a flat edge in the corner of the set, which is, I believe, that's the set that we're seeing right now. And it's cool that they have viewers, and you can actually tell, like these days we have like technology like you ask Alexa to do something and stuff. This is like in these days we say hey Alexa and stuff like that. But here they say viewer on, viewer off and stuff for the screens and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
And as you see here, those two guys know each other.
Yep.
These characters they actually met like previously. Yeah, Bones is his nickname, by the way. That is. Yeah. Yeah, Leonard McCoy. Len McCoy's nickname is Bones. Oh, we're about to see the coming up is the most intense scene that I really like. There's a favorite. This is the most favorite scene. I'm actually gonna turn up the volume so for Kyle's just for Kyle so he can actually hear like the sound effects
Okay.
and stuff. Here we go with the warp drive. How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
Here comes the intense scene. That was amazing. What'd you think of that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of my favorite scenes in this movie. So, in case you're wondering how the scene was created, the wormhole sequence in Star Trek 1979 was a complex 9-month visual effects production created primarily through scanning laser beams, rear projection, and intense 65mm camera work. Under the direction of visual effects supervisor Douglas Trumbull, the team used a 20-watt argon laser projected onto a rear projection screen, accumulating images over several minutes per frame, while moving the camera in and out to create a tunnel effect. The core wormhole effect involved scanning a laser beam onto a screen, creating the warped, colorful light streaks, which we saw earlier. The trails, like you saw that the trails, right?
Mm-hmm.
The light trails. Uh, they also use a time lapse. They use a time lapse accumulation effect. The effect was created by stacking multiple exposures to produce a long exposure effect on 35 millimeter and 65 millimeter. And what I love about it is that, like, there's the slow motion part where their voices get distorted. That was pretty cool. That was kind of intense. Like, did you hear the distortion in their voices?
I did.
Once again, those two guys are competing each other. Now, in the TV show, the designs of the costumes they weren't like that. They had most of the costumes were like different colors, like red and yellow, and I believe there were other colors besides gray.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, the props and models notes. The first Star Trek, the first Star Trek movie models constructed were small study models for Planet of the Titans, based on designs by Adam and McQuarrie. But these flat-hulled Enterprise concepts were abandoned when that film was canceled. Although one was later used in the space dock in the movie Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, and another later appeared in the Star Trek Next Generation episode The Best of Both Worlds. When the project When the project became the motion picture, Roger Abel and Associates, also known as RA&A, art director Richard Taylor wanted to completely redesign the ship, but Roddenberry insisted on the same shape as designed by Jeffries for Phase 2. Taylor focused on the details, giving it a stylization he considered almost Art Deco. Concept artist Andrew Probert helped refine the redesign. The general shape and proportions of the Phase 2 ship were retained, but the angles, curves, and details refined. Taylor took on the nacelles, which are those two little like wing those engines right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Probert the rest of the ship. Changes include radiator grill, nacelle caps, a glowing deflector dish, a new impulse engine, new shapes for the aft end, and hangar doors of the secondary hull, more docking ports, rounding windows, hatches, the windows for an observation lounge, recreation deck, and arboretum. I can't pronounce that. Probert also replaced the Phase 2 ship weapons tube with a twin launcher torpedo deck and added elements such as features for a separating saucer and landing pads that were never utilized on any film featuring the model. And what we're about to meet Spock again. There he is, right there. Yeah, both Kirk and Spock, at least in the series, they're best friends. So costumes and makeup. Roddenberry firmly believed that believed that throwaway clothes were the future of the industry, and this idea was incorporated into the costumes of the motion picture. William Ware Theiss, the designer who created the original television series costumes, was too busy to work on the film. Instead, Robert Fletcher, considered one of American theater's most successful costume and scenic designers, was selected to design the new uniforms, suits, and robes for the production. Fletcher Fletcher eschewed man-made synthetics for natural materials, finding that these fabrics so better and lasted longer. As times had changed, the brightly multicolored Starfleet uniforms were revised. The miniskirts worn by women in the original series would now be considered sexist. Oh my, wow. And Wise and Fletcher deemed the color garish and working against believability on the big screen. Fletcher's first task was to create new, less conspicuous uniforms. Which I guess that's pretty much why everyone's wearing gray in this movie.
Okay. Cool.
What? Yeah, in the original series, that there was also mention about the Stardate numbers, and in fact, I'm gonna look that up and see what that is. Ooh, I love that effect.
It's a pretty cool effect.
So, stardates in Star Trek are a fictional, non-linear time measurement system used to track the passage of time across interstellar, a vast interstellar United Federation of planets detached from Earth-specific calendars. So basically, in in the in the space world, I'm guessing it's a little bit different from the real life, like Earth-based dates, like calendars.
Oh, I'm sure.
They were designed to convey a sense of a futuristic, relativistic setting where time passes differently depending on the ship's velocity and location, while allowing creators to avoid placing the show in a specific rigid year. They did pretty well with Spock's design with his eyebrows and his pointy ears. So, filming of the motion picture began on August 7th, 1978. A few small ceremonies were performed before photography began. Roddenberry gave Wise his baseball cap, a gift from the captain of the nuclear carrier Enterprise, which I believe not the spaceship, but the real life Enterprise, like in military, like the ship, like ocean liner.
Yeah, yeah.
The CVN-65.
Yep.
So where was I? Yeah, Wise and Roddenberry then cracked a breakaway bottle of champagne on the bridge set with no champagne inside to avoid damaging the set. The scene of the busy crew on the Enterprise bridge just prior to Kirk's arrival was the first to be shot. Wise directed 15 takes into the late afternoon before he was satisfied with the scene. The first day's shots used 1,650 feet, 500 meters of film. 420 feet, 130 meters were considered good. 1,070 feet, 1,070 feet, 330 meters were judged no good, and 160 feet, 49 meters were wasted. Only one and 1/8 pages have been shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. So Alex Weldon was hired to be supervisor for special effects for the film. Weldon was planning on retiring after 42 years of effects work, but his wife urged him to take on Star Trek because she thought he did not have enough to do. When Weldon was hired, many of the effects had already been started or completed or completed by Rugg. It was up to Weldon to complete more complex and higher budget effects for the motion picture. The first step of preparation involved analyzing the script and the number, duration, and type of effects. Before costs could be determined and Weldon could shop for necessary items, he and the other members for the special effects team worked out all possibilities for pulling off the effects in a convincing manner. And speaking of effects, they are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool, Sebastian.
Yeah. Yeah, back in the 70s, I'm pretty sure they were using like old Macintosh computers back in the day, back in the 70s. Because Windows PCs did not exist until like the 80s. Speaking of that, maybe I can look that up. Used. Oh, they're about to face that large cloud. So for Star Trek, the 1979 film, the computer generated bridge displays and console animations were created using a combination of custom software and early computer hardware rather than modern off-the-shelf software packages. They use NASA consultant written software. They use the TRS-80. They use vector graphic technology, and they also have, and of course, they had custom simulation. They seem to be pretty good at the time. Yeah, if you're hearing background noise, that's just the rain.
It's coming down pretty hard now.
Yeah. So Richard H. Klein served as the film's cinematographer, working from sketch artist, Maurice Zuperano's concepts. Wise would judge if they were on the right track. Klein and Mitchelson will discuss the look will discuss the look they wanted along with Weldon if effects were involved. Each sequence was then storyboarded and left to Klein to execute. The cinematographer called his function to interpret the pre-planning and make it indelible on film. It's a way of everybody being on the same wavelength. Oh, here we go. What you're about to see is another intense scene. Well, there's a streak of light entering the little zap effect. Okay, Sissy. Sorry, folks. It's just Sissy making a little noise. So there's one particular name that I'm familiar with in terms of the crew who made this movie. One of the guys' name is John Dykstra. He's the guy who served as the special photographic effects supervisor for this movie. Fresh off his groundbreaking Oscar-winning work on the original Star Wars 1977, Dykstra and his independent effects studio, Apogee Incorporated, were hired alongside fellow visual effects legend Douglas Trumbull, to rescue the film's troubled behind-schedule production. Dykstra's involvement in the Star Trek franchise is defined by several notable achievements. Divided workload. To meet Paramount's strict December 1979 release deadline, Dykstra and Trumbull split the massive catalog of required special effects shots between their respective studios. Round-the-clock shifts. Through Apogee Inc., Dykstra managed 3 separate crews working in 24-hour continuous shifts across 2 facilities to finish the shots on time. So this guy, he not only he did Star Trek, he was also involved in the first Star Wars movie,
Yep.
which was the actual title, Episode 4, New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think he was also, let me check here. He was also involved in Stuart Little. Let me see, which was released in 1999.
That's funny, Stuart Little.
In Stuart Little, he was the senior visual effects supervisor for that movie, Stuart Little, 1999. and he also in 2002 he was also part of the original 2000 Spider-Man films.
Oh.
Yeah, and both Spider-Man and Stuart Little, they were they're part of Sony. So I think we're about to. There's an upcoming scene where Ilea gets abducted by this by an alien vessel named V'ger,
Okay.
and I believe that's part of V'ger right there.
Okay.
That is a very huge alien vessel.
It is big.
Yep. Well, look how tiny the Enterprise is compared to the alien vessel.
It's very big.
That's an amazing shot. I would be scared of like what if something like this happens in real life? There's something out there,
Mm.
out in space.
That'd be crazy.
Sorry, that's just Sissy clearing her throat.
She's fine. Oh, so cute.
Man, they're still going.
That's a huge alien ship.
Yes. I mean, in the movie Independence Day, they also had those very large alien ships. I mean, I haven't seen like the whole movie. Like, I haven't seen the whole movie of it, but I just remember seeing like various clips of these large alien ships attacking each city.
Mm.
Oh, got intruder alert. We're about to see the. We're about to see a probe in just a second here. It's making that. Yeah, that's the probe. That's a probe, right there. When I first saw this, that sound effect was so loud. Just people out there. But anyway, yeah. So maybe turn it up a little bit so you can. That's the sound effect that's making. It's interfering the controls now. I would be scared if something if I would be scared if an electrical shock happened right here. Oh, the probe is mad. Ooh. I Eileen is abducted by the probe, and what's gonna happen next? She's gonna be controlled by the V'ger. And what don't mean to spoil here, but the character, but Isla's probe self, the robotic self, her voice sounds really sounds kind of weird in a way.
Does she live?
Well, actually, it's hard to tell actually, but I think she actually died. The character died, but although the actor, well, yeah, the actor's playing like a probe like robotic version of her. You'll see later.
Wait, so when they abduct her, they kill her?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. They killed her and they created a robotic version of her, and well, you'll see later on.
That they're bad then. They're super evil then.
Yeah.
Don't they fight back?
You'll not to spoil, but you'll see. Now, Chief DeFalco, don't know about her history, but she's taking over Isla's place. Oh, see, I think I've hear something about the V'ger notes. So another large construction task was the V'ger set, referred to by the production staff as the Coliseum or the Microwave Walk. The set was designed and fabricated in 4.5 weeks and was filmable from all angles. Parts of the set were designed to pull away for better camera access at the center. Excuse me. During production, Star Trek used 11 of Paramount's 32 sound stages, more than any other film done there at the time. To save money, construction coordinator Gene Kelly struck sets with his own crew immediately after filming, lest Paramount charge the production to have the sets dismantled. The final cost for constructing the sets ran at approximately $1.99 million, equivalent to $8.83 million in 2025, not counting additional costs for Phase 2 fabrication. That is a lot of money.
It is, Sebastian, it is. Are they inside the ship now?
Yeah, they are. So how are you liking it so far, Kyle?
It's a good movie. It's interesting. I guess I've never seen it before, so it's definitely an interesting watch. This alien ship is very unique. It's very big.
Yeah. I want to say that the Enterprise models are my favorite. Like, in terms of the props, it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I might turn it up a little bit so you can hear a little bit, just for Kyle. Oh yes, here comes the here's a robotic version of uh, Ilya. Ilya.
So she's bad now.
She someone is controlling her. Like, yeah. Sometimes I couldn't help myself but laugh at how her computer voice and stuff. Oh, V'ger, yeah. Oh, V'ger programmed her. Yeah, she's a probe. Her robotic voice sounds like it's overdubbed or something. Like they put special effects on her voice. Oh yeah, it seems that yeah, she doesn't say Decker unit, but everyone else she says like Kirk unit for example. So it is assumed that yeah, the real Aliyah is dead.
Damn, it sucks.
Well, she was able to break through that door. As and like the doctor back there, he's just watching helplessly, just watching on. And now they're trying to revive her memory. The music you're hearing that is like a snippet of the original Star Trek opening theme. That theme. It's like she half recognized Decker and then she acts as like a, of course, as a probe, a robot. So I believe carbon units. She's referring
Humans.
to like humans. Yeah. Speaking of the word carbon unit, there's on the newer Macintosh computers, it has the those text to speech voices on those computers. There's one of the voices says, "We do not communicate with these carbon units," and I thought, it's like, what is that? You know, it had a robotic voice. It just sounds so I thought that sounded kind of silly.
Yeah.
Oh, Spock is gonna try to put on the suit, a space suit, just to see what's going on
Outside the ship.
outside the ship. Yeah. He's gonna attempt to contact the aliens. I like that female voice, that computer voice, when that little warning that she's giving out here.
Oh yeah.
Wow, she sounds so cheerful and right there.
Oh yeah.
Imagining put the arm back up and then putting it back down, and you hear that warning again. Like, warning. this is a a pretty dangerous device. Here he goes. It kind of looks like a city down there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Leonard Nimoy. He unfortunately passed away, and I believe 20, I believe 2015. Let me look. Yeah, February 27th, 2015. So he was.
Sorry, Sebastian.
That's right. He was. He was 83
Oh,
at the
you're
time
up
of
there.
his, at the time of his passing, and that's Ilea.
Spock alive?
Yeah, he's fine. He's just knocked out probably. Yeah, he's been knocked out. See, he's fine. So I'm gonna read some filmography for some of the cast members real quick if I can. If I can get to it. So, of course, William Shatner was Captain Kirk in the original television series. He was also he also appeared like in I think some episodes of the Next Generation Star Trek back in the 80s or 90s. He was also there was another movie that I know he was in. He was oh, he did the voice for Ozzy in the 2006 movie Over the Hedge.
Hmm.
That DreamWorks movie. Oh, he made an appearance in 1996. He played himself in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air in one episode. That I believe that's I believe that's Will Smith. Hold on a second. Yeah, Will Smith.
I'm gonna go pee real quick. Okay,
Okay.
Sebastian, buddy.
All right. So about to see Reacher creating the signal. So I'm going to read some more trivia here. In the decade between the end of the Star Trek television series and the film, many of the futuristic technologies that appeared on the show, electronic doors that open automatically, talking computers, weapons that stun rather than kill, and personal communication devices, have become a reality. Roddenberry had insisted that the technology aboard the Enterprise be grounded in established science and scientific theories. The motion picture likewise received technical consultation from NASA, the Propulsion Laboratory at California Institute of Technology, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, as well as individuals such as former astronaut Rusty Schweikart and the science fiction writer Isaac Asimov. The greatest amount of technical advice for the production came from NASA, who provided Trek fan Jesko von Puttkamer as advisor to the film. Roddenberry had known Puttkamer since 1975, when they had been introduced by a mutual friend, the assistant director of astronautics at the Smithsonian Institution. From 1976 until the completion of the film, Puttkamer provided the writers, producer, and director with memos on everything technical in the script. The scientist reviewed every line in the script and was unpaid for his assistance. Science fiction films, including those of the recent past, have been woefully short of good science advice. He said, Star Wars is really not science fiction. I loved it, but it's a fairy tale of princess and knights in another galaxy. The technology was improbable, the science impossible. Oh, sorry, buddy. It's all right.
What I miss, Sebastian?
Oh, I was just reading the technical consulting facts here, and I think earlier V'ger is signaling the creator. Oh, you see what I mean by she mentions each character's name by whatever name dash unit. It's like she says Kirk unit instead of saying Kirk. But for Decker, she just calls him Decker, and that's it. Not Decker unit. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. How big is V'ger? Probably pretty big.
Let me see. So V'ger is described. Hold on a second. The physical spaceship at the center of the cloud is, well, the vessel is 78 kilometers, approximately 48 miles in length.
Oh, it's pretty big. It's long, but it's not that big.
Yeah, yeah. From our point of view, it is so huge.
But if it was like from an Earth's perspective, like compared to the size of the Earth, it's not big.
Yeah.
48 miles long isn't that big.
Yeah.
It's long. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah. The cloud the cloud that we saw earlier, that blue cloud thing.
yes.
The massive energy cloud surrounding the ship was stated in the original theatrical release to be 82 astronomical units (AU) in diameter, which is over 12 billion kilometers, large enough to engulf the inner solar system. Wow.
What is that? The cloud?
That's the cloud.
That's the cloud. Okay.
Yeah. Here are the guys coming out of the doorway right there. It's kind of interesting to see them stepping out of the ship and like they're in space, but they're not like, in their suits.
Yeah.
I mean, in Wallace and Gromit, in Wallace and Gromit, Grande, yeah, one of those short films. But the title characters they went up to space, but they never had any like, breathing problems because
Yeah.
it's movie logic. But yeah,
It is movie logic. That's right, Smash. It is.
I think we're at the point where they're about to find out the V'ger name. We're about to see. I would like to bring up that there bring up something interesting. By the way, so I have the soundtrack for this movie, like on vinyl record.
Yeah.
And on the track listing, it's V'ger is spelled in the movie. It's spelled Vger, but on the track listing, I think if I recall correctly, it's spelled Vjer or Vjur,
Okay.
which is kind of
Weird.
weird. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it was spelled that way during production. Oh, it is spelled correctly. Okay. Never. I thought there was a misspelling in the track listing, but I guess someone mistyped it on Discogs or something. I'm looking that up in the Wikipedia page. So V'ger stands for Voyager.
Yep.
So speaking of the music, the score for Star Trek the motion picture was composed and conducted by Jerry Goldsmith and performed by the Hollywood Studio Symphony, beginning a long association with scoring Star Trek film and television. Gene Roddenberry had originally wanted Goldsmith to score Star Trek's pilot episode, The Cage, but he was unavailable. When Wise signed on to direct, Paramount asked if he had any objection to using Goldsmith. Wise, who had worked with Goldsmith on The Sand Pebbles, replied, "Oh no, he's great." Wise later considered his work with Goldsmith one of the best relationships he ever had with a composer. Goldsmith was influenced by the style of the romantic, sweeping music of Star Wars. When you stop and think about it, space is a very romantic thought. It is to me like the Old West. We're up in the universe. It's about discovery and new life. It's really the basic premise of Star Trek, he said. Goldsmith's initial bombastic main theme reminded Ramsay and Wise of sailing ships. Unable to articulate what he felt was wrong with the piece, Wise recommended writing an entirely different piece. Although irked by the rejection, Goldsmith consented to rework his initial ideas. The rewriting of the theme required changes to several sequences Goldsmith had scored without writing a main title piece. The approach of Kirk and Scott to the dry-docked Enterprise by shuttle lasted a ponderous 5 minutes due to the effect shots coming in late and unedited, requiring Goldsmith to maintain interest with a revised and developed cue. I think that's referring to the that one scene where Scott and Kirk were flying around the ship at the beginning. Star Trek the Motion Picture is the only Star Trek film to have a true overture using Ilya's theme, later recorded as a lyrical version by Sean Cassidy as A Star Beyond Time with lyrics by Larry Cusick in this role, most noticeably in the Director's Edition DVD release. Star Trek and the Black Hole were the only feature films to use an overture from the end of 1979 until 2000 with Lars von Trier's Dancer in the Dark. Much of the recording equipment used to create the movie's intricately complicated sound effects was, at the time, extremely cutting edge. Among these pieces of equipment was the ADS, Advanced Digital Synthesizer 11, manufactured by Pasadena, California custom synthesizer manufacturer Conbrio Incorporated. The movie provided major publicity and was used to advertise the synthesizer, though no price was given. The film's soundtrack also provided a debut for the Blaster Beam, an electronic instrument 12 to 15 feet, 3.7 to 4.6 meters long. It was created by musician Craig Huxley, who played a small role in an episode of the original television series. The blaster had steel wires connected to amplifiers fitted to the main piece of aluminum. The device was played with an artillery shell. Goldsmith heard it and immediately decided to use it for V'ger's cues. Several state-of-the-art synthesizers were used as musical instruments, notably the Yamaha CS-80, ARP 2600, Oberheim OBX, and Surge synthesizer. An enormous pipe organ first plays the V'ger theme on the Enterprise's approach, a literal indication of the machine's power. A soundtrack featuring the film's music was released by Columbia Records, which is a Sony label, in 1979 together with the film debut, and was one of Goldsmith's best-selling scores. Sony's Legacy Recordings released an expanded 2-disc edition of the soundtrack on November 10, 1998. The album added an additional 21 minutes of music in to supplement the original track list, and was resequenced to reflect the storyline of the film. The first disc features as much of the score as can fit onto a 78-minute disc, while the second contains Inside Star Trek, a spoken word documentary from the 1970s. In 2012, the score was released yet again via La La Land Records in association with Sony Music. This three CD set contains the complete score for the first time, plus unreleased alternate and unused cues, in addition to the remastered original 1979 album. In my case, I have the 1979 vinyl record.
Okay.
Now, for the sound effects, sound designer Frank Serafine, a longtime Star Trek fan, was invited to create the sound effects for the picture. Given access to state-of-the-art audio equipment, Serafine saw the picture as the chance to modernize outdated motion picture sound techniques with digital technology. Owing to background noise such as camera operation, much of the ambient noise or dialogue captured on set was unusable. It was Seraphine's job to create or recreate sounds to mix back into the scenes. As all the sound elements such as dubbed lines for background noise came together, they were classified into three divisions: A effects, B effects, and C effects. A effects were synthesized or acoustic sounds that were important and integral to the picture. The sound of V'ger's weapon, partly done with the blaster beam instrument, for example, or Spock's mind meld, as well as transporters, explosions, and the warp speed sound effect. BFX consisted of minor sounds such as the clicks and switches, beeps and chimes. CFX were subliminal sounds that set moods, crowd chatter, and ambient noise. All the elements were mixed as pre-dubs, quote unquote, to speed integration into the final mix sound. The final sound mix, Oh, they're about to kiss each other. Decker and Ilea. What do you think of the special effects in this movie?
I think they're good.
And they were never seen again after this movie. Those two characters.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. That was amazing right there.
It's pretty cool.
So we're getting close to the end of the film here. that was the beginning of the new life form. So 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 after this movie, there were a total of 12 theatrical Star Trek sequels after this movie.
How many?
12 in total. So
movies or shows and movies total?
Movies.
Okay.
So in the original series era, there were 5 sequels. You have 2 to 6, and then for the Next Generation era, there were 4 sequels. You also have the 3 Kelvin timeline era sequels or in reboots. There was also other television spin-offs for the Star Trek franchise throughout the years. There was also in the 70s. There was also an animated Star Trek show after the original live action was canceled. So, what do you think of this movie as a whole?
I liked it. I really liked the movie. I liked the concept around it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's a very interesting movie.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. So as for box office, as we get to the end here, so the movie opened in the United States and Canada on December 7th, 1979 in 857 theaters and set a box office record for the highest opening weekend gross, making 11. This is a high number.
11,926,421 in its first weekend. That's not bad, especially for the time period it came out in.
Yeah, it was great. The human adventure is just beginning. Yeah, it's saying that there's there's a sequel coming out after this.
Good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was a great film. So the critical reception, it actually met with mixed reviews and critics, but who
cares what the critics have to
but who
say?
cares? Yeah, it was a great film.
Audiences liked it. That's what matters.
Yeah. And so, and what you're hearing, you're hearing the overture again. Great theme song. Great theme music, which is heard again in the Next Generation era show. With in the Next Generation, you have Sir Patrick Stewart as the captain.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is Spock still a thing?
I think I'm not sure. I don't think he appeared. I mean, I have not seen all Next Generation episodes, but I'm pretty sure he was referenced. Yeah, some of the original cast members, some of them appeared in the Next Generation. Not necessarily everyone, though.
Okay. Cool.
So in what they both have in common, both the original series and the Next Generation, they have this opening dialogue where the captain. What was the opening dialogue on all episodes? It was a monologue. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations. to boldly go where no man has gone before. That's a great opening dialogue
Yeah,
for,
it is.
for the original TV shows.
Yep. My dad knows a lot more about that stuff in terms of like the old shows and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, we hope you guys enjoyed this commentary.
I hope you guys. I had a great time, Sebastian. As
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, we did had some silence here and there, so you guys can focus on the scenes and stuff. And also, this is Kyle's first time seeing this movie,
Yes.
so we hope to see you in the next one. So let's say our goodbyes now.
All right. Thank you, everyone. This is Secret Sauce signing out.
And this is DJ92 signing out. Peace out.
Peace.